I'm sharing with you guys a beautiful wall hanging today that I have created, and this is a French baby doll inspired wall hanging, and the size is 12 inches, including the dangle lace up to this one here. It doesn't include this particular one here, would be longer, but from the top to the bottom of the second longest fringe dangle is around about 12 inches by 6.5 inches across. So it's a good size. It's not too big, so it's lovely to hang up in your room or your home. And I've made it in a beautiful tea dye cream vintage tone, as that particular color is very popular with these dolls because they are very like they're from the vintage or the antique era, because a lot of these dolls are antique and they're so beautiful. I started off with some pieces of fabric in my stash, 2 layers, and then I have put some batting in the center between the two of them. I stitched around the outside. The edges are raw on these particular wall hangings, but if you don't want any raw edges, you can have the good sides turned inside out and then stitch around it and then turn it the right way, up to you. But I usually make my items very tattered and all that, so there's a lot of like raw edges and seams and all that, but it just goes with the particular theme. And once you hide it with the laces and all that, you're not going to see it that much. So that is my particular wall hanging that I have created. And once I have printed out this image, I have sewn, I just glued her onto the front with some batting at the back of her also, so it gives her dimension on the particular image. And then I just went in numerous places, adding laces and trims down the bottom here, different layers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry about the roost, there's 4 layers down the bottom here, and 3 layers across here, and 3 layers across the top. And then I just went on to embellishing it with beautiful laces and trims and wedding appliques from my stash. So beautiful. And this is a I think this is off a wedding dress. I don't think I made this particular one, or I can't even remember. Maybe I could have, because I do know how to make these flowers, but this particular one is probably off a wedding dress. And I don't know if it's one I got off a dress or if it's one that Margaret sent me. Sorry if I've forgotten, Margaret, I can't remember now. So, and I tea dyed it, so it gave this beautiful vintage cream color. I used some of this ruffle lace, just chop it up and added it into a bow and stuck it onto the back of this particular flower here. For the dolly, I embellished her also, so she looks very dimensional. I used some vintage lace as a bonnet. I gathered it and I glued it onto. She has got a bonnet on, so I made it like dimensional. See, that's her bonnet at the back there. And I made it more dimensional by added some vintage laces on top. And this is some vintage little pieces of applique that I had in my stash also, that I just adorn her bonnet with. That's very beautiful. And she has got a bow, a big bow on her underneath, so I've wrinkled up some seam binding which has been tea dyed, and I made a bow and just glued it down and let it dangle there. And here I made, like, I don't know what they call this in like a collar in vintage terms, like old terms, I'm sure they call it something else, but I call it a collar. I ruffled up and gathered some vintage laces that I had in my stash and just made it look like a beautiful neck piece or a collar there also. So yeah, I used some braid trims from my stash and just embellished her the way that I have wanted to. That is the back of it. I just used some eyelet lace trim to go around the image just to seal off all the edges, and across the top here to hide the ties. The ties are using the same coordinating eyelet trim, and you just hang it up in your craft room or wherever you like. And you can adjust it also, because I've got extra lengths here, and I've added some ribbon flowers onto the side here. Or maybe you can't adjust it, I've like glued on, so you can't, but it's a good size already. So yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys today, and it is for sale if anybody is interested in this particular wall hanging. It's so beautiful. I would like to sell it before I list it on my eBay, so message me if you're interested. And if nobody messages me, then I'll pop it on my Etsy link. Thank you so much everybody for watching. Have a good day. Bye.